Southeast Asia displays a very interesting mix of American and British English. American English emerged in the Southeast Asia after the Spanish-American War, when America was given sovereignty over the Philippines in 1898. Although Philippines declared independence in 1946, the influence of American English still persists, especially in such domains as media and education. Philippines includes the largest population of the English-speaking states in the region. According to an estimate in 2016, the total number of English speakers in these states is something like 90 million, which is a significant contribution to the total number of English speakers in the world. The British English was introduced in Southeast Asia by the British sailors. The British colonial empire in Southeast Asia was established by Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles, who was a British sailor and captain. He established several British settlements in different parts of Southeast Asia. The most notable among these was Singapore. Sir Thomas Raffles is also called the founder of the modern Singapore. Gradually, English became very popular in this region of the British Empire, and by 1867, it had been established as the medium of law and administration. It had made its place in these important domains. It rapidly became the language of power in British territories of Southeast Asia, especially after Malaysia was united in the form of a state. Malaysian states were united as a confederate, Gradually, many other parts of Southeast Asia also came under the British control. Hong Kong Island in 1842, Kowloon in 1860. The new territories, which formed the largest part of Hong Kong, were leased from China in 1898 for 99 years. You may remember in 1997, there were lots of celebrations when these 99 years were completed and Hong Kong was freed by the British. In these regions, British introduced a very developed education system. English medium schools began in many parts of Southeast Asia. Some of these are now included in Malaysia. For these schools, teaching staff was regularly brought from the UK. Thus, people in this region were exposed to the standard British English. English also became the language of professional advancement and the language of higher education. And people realized that for any professional growth and for obtaining higher education, they had to resort to learning English. Soon, English became a prestigious lingua franca among the people who had received English education. These people did not only include the natives of Southeast Asia, but several immigrants from China and India. Despite having a common colonial history, Southeast Asian English has not emerged as a single variety. We have different varieties of Englishes in Southeast Asia. One of these is Singaporean English. A bilingual education system was introduced in Singapore in 1950 with English alongside Chinese, Malay and Tamil, the languages of the majority of population in Singapore. However, English remained the language of the major domains of government, including education, administration, and law. In Singapore, English is still very popular among family settings and among the youth. We are also familiar with the development of a Singaporean variety of English which is now officially called Singlish. The situation was very different in Malaysia. After the independence of Malaysia in 1957, Malaysia turned to adopting Bahasa Malaysia as its official language. And subsequently, the role of English became very restricted. Malay was used in several important government domains. Not only that, Malaysian government also introduced Malay medium education, and English remained there only as a compulsory subject. In Hong Kong, English again has a very limited use. Majority of the population, almost 98% people, have Chinese as their native language. English has its limited use in such domains as government, military, administration, law, and business. But people in Hong Kong also have now realized the importance of English for higher education. And because of having more prospects in higher education through English, people have started turning to English in Hong Kong as well. So English and Chinese now have a joint official status. Still, Chinese is the predominant language of Hong Kong in most speech situations.